Hello, thank you for watching my channel today. My name is Sarah and my channel is called Your True Self. So recently I have been really into fantasy books. So this is something that in the past I would never have considered myself to want to read fantasy, especially like when I first started BookTube. I would, if somebody had a channel which talked a lot about fantasy, I would have thought, okay, that's not really my thing. And I don't really know like what changed my mind, but I think I started watching booktubers who read some fantasy, and I was like really interested in the books that they were talking about. So people like Menzies talks a lot about fantasy, or Mina Reed talks a lot about fantasy, and then Christiane Jones. And so I think I just got into interested in fantasy from there. And so then I started like actually thinking, right, I want to try some fantasy books. And I have been, I think especially in the season of autumn, I'm like really sort of interested in finding those sort of dark and spooky books, and really just wanting to get immersed in a world of you know, spooky, witchy, fantasy, magical type things. So what I've done is I've got some books here which are, some are very new, some are quite new, that I've bought, and I just thought I'll go through them and hopefully it will help me decide what to read next. I've literally just finished a book about 10 minutes ago, and instead of filming my wrap-up video, because it is Halloween today, I thought I'd just film a video discussing these fantasy books. So the first one that I bought is a YA book, and I saw the cover and I just could not resist because it's so beautiful. And this is Six of Cranes by Elizabeth Lim. So this book is an Asian fantasy book, and our main character is called Shiori Anma. She is a princess. She is betrothed to marry somebody that she doesn't want to marry. And she knows that she has magic in her veins, but it's forbidden. And on the morning of her wedding, I think she just lets her emotions get out of control and some magic happens. And this sort of stalls her wedding, which she's really pleased about, but it also brings the attention of her magic to her mother-in-law, also her stepmother, not her mother-in-law. And her mother-in-law basically banishes her from the kingdom and changes her brothers into cranes. And so she's told that if she speaks a word about this to anybody, then her brothers will begin to die one by one, so she mustn't tell anybody about it. So she's kind of cast out and alone, and then she uncovers a plot to overthrow the throne, and she has to try and get help in order to uncover this plot and kind of get her brothers changed back again. So that's that one, which is so beautiful. You can see how gorgeous the cover is. The next one I got is one which is a middle grade book, and they had this display stand in Waterstones of middle grade books, and as soon as I saw it I just thought I'm going to have to buy this because I love the cover so much. I definitely judged a book by its cover on this one. So this book appears to be the first in a new series as well. So this book is called The Hatmakers by Tamsin Merxhant, which you can just see how absolutely beautiful this is. This book is about our protagonist, who is called Cordelia Hatmaker, and she makes hats and coats and boots and things like that out of magical ingredients, and this is her family business. And her father is off on his ship to get new magical ingredients for her, and his ship becomes shipwrecked and she doesn't know what's happened to him, and she really wants to obviously go and find out, but her aunt and uncle haven't really got time to help her because there's a sort of like a magical rivalry which is getting quite sinister, which is brewing between this family and another family. So I'm really looking forward to this. This says keep wildness in your wits and magic in your fingertips. So it looks and sounds beautiful, and I think it's got some illustrations in here as well. So just a few kind of at the start of chapters and things, there's little illustrations as well, which is another added bonus. Right, I keep shifting around because I'm kneeling on the floor because I and had to be a different position to usual so that I had enough space and I had enough light, because now the clocks have changed. It's getting dark really early. So the next book that I have is one that probably a lot of people have read already, and I got this because I started watching the Netflix series and I really enjoyed it, and this is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. So this is the story of Alina and her friend Mal, who are at an orphanage, and they are, I can't remember what the places of all of the places are called, but anyway, Alina is a Grisha, and Grisha are people with magical abilities, and she is discovered to have like really extreme magical powers as a sun summoner, and she is supposed to be destroying this really dark place called the Fold, which parts two countries, and her help is enlisted by someone called the Darkling, and so I know what's going to happen if the TV series sticks close to the books. This, I've heard, isn't great in terms of the writing, I believe, so I've heard that it definitely gets better as the series goes on. So this is a trilogy, and then there's also the Six of Crows books, which are featured in the same universe or the same world. But I'm really looking forward to reading it, just because I think I can picture all the characters and I can picture what the world looks like, and I just really enjoy the TV series. So the next one that I have on my list is another book which I became aware of initially because of I'm not sure, I think it's Sky series, not Netflix for this one, but I became aware of it, and I became aware of it first because Morgan Long read it and said that she loved it. I know Karen Evans also really loved it. It's a big old chunker, and it's part of, I think it's a series of 4 books, and this is A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. So this is a big old chunker. This is about witches, vampires and demons, and I believe that the character at the heart of the story is called Diana, and I'm gonna have to shift around again. She is discovers a magical book or manuscript that people have been looking for a long time, and as a result of this she gets sort of tracked down by vampires and demons and witches, and story goes from there. So I haven't looked into it too much. It doesn't say a lot on the blurb, and I obviously don't want any spoilers, but I'm really excited. I love stuff about witches, and I'm really excited to read this, and yeah, I really just feel like getting immersed in something really, really extensive. So that's that one. So the next book is a few years old now, but still popular, and another, I believe, another part of the series. I think it's a trilogy again, and that is The Poppy War by R F Kuang. This is a book about a young woman called Rin, who is a peasant girl, and she passes a test which is very difficult to pass, and she gets into a military school, and she basically faces a lot of discrimination and prejudice and nastiness from the other students due to her background as somebody who's impoverished, and also it says that she's dark-skinned in the blurb, so she's facing colorism as well, and she finds out that she can perform shamanism, and this is like one of the most highly coveted skills of the military school. And whilst the empire is currently at peace, but there's another community who live opposite a river called the Federation of Mugen, and basically it seems like there's going to be a war which happens with them, so I'm guessing that therefore Rin will be a key player in this war. So that's that one. Then the last 2 I will feature in a haul soon, because guess what, I have more books to haul, and I bought these 2 with my birthday money, and I've just realised I've left one out, so I'm just going to stand up and grab that one. So these are all for my birthday. The two that I'm about to say first, I got from Waterstones, and the last one I asked for, which isn't available in Waterstones, but my husband got it for me. So the next book I have is the first in a series, and this is A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik, and this is part of the Scholar Month series. So I saw the second book is just out in hardback, and I saw the second book in Waterstones a while ago, and I was really attracted to the cover, and then I saw it was the second in a series, so obviously then I wanted to read the first in the series. So this is about a girl called Elle, and she is at a school which sounds a bit like a darker and more adult version of Hogwarts. So it's a school for magic, but you can only leave by either graduating or being killed. And she possesses really dark powers which are enough to wipe out bad things, but she's trying to learn how to harness these powers because she could end up killing her fellow students if she uses them in the wrong way. So basically, yeah, she's trying her hardest not to use it unless she has no choice. So that's that one, which isn't such a big book, but it's definitely fantasy. And then the last two that I have to mention, so the first one is an absolute mammoth of a book. Let me have a look. 804 pages. It's huge. It's one that I saw on Christiane Jones' channel, and anyone who's been watching recently knows that I am loving her channel so much, and I have got so many book recommendations from her, and this is definitely one of them. And this is The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. So look, this is enormous, but that makes me excited because I've hit my target. This happened last year. I've hit my target for the amount of books I wanted to read this year. I've nearly finished the Reading Women Challenge, and so I feel I can just take my time. I'm not like needing to hit any targets and not needing to read a certain number of books per month, and it's just nice that I can like dive into a long book without any pressure. So this book, I don't really know what it's about because there's no blurb on the back. I did read when I was in Waterstones the blurb to make sure, so the stuff on Storygraph, just to check that I definitely wanted to read it, which I did, but I can't remember what it said. So I know that it's like in a kind of epic fantasy. It is... it says on the back that it's a feminist Lord of the Rings, but one of the rare novels that captures your imagination so completely that you will read it over and over again until the cover cracks and the spine breaks. When I bought this, the person who served me on the till said that they absolutely loved it, and I was in for a real treat. So, and there are maps. So right at the beginning, there are maps of all the different places, and I just noticed when I was trying to look at the page numbers, there's also a list of characters. There's a lot of characters. Hold on. Yeah, so there's a list of all the characters, which is several pages long, and there's also a glossary of quite a lot of the words in there. So I think it's going to be like a read that's not an easy read, but you know, never mind, that's just exciting. And then the final book that I have on this list, I'm just going to have to move again because I keep getting pins and needles in my legs. I am not made for doing videos kneeling on the floor. The final book is by one of my booktube beloveds, which is Jean Menzies. She has already released non-fiction books before, and she has now self-published her first fantasy book, so her first fiction book, which obviously I was going to buy because we love Jean. So this book is The Flames of Albion, and I believe that her mum did the cover artwork, which is super cool. It's really beautiful, so you can see. So this is a queer fantasy book, and this is about it's set in a place called Albiyon, and our main character is called Deborah, and she is a scholar, and she loves being tucked up in the library, and like sort of she's like a bit of an introvert, kind of all things which I think will be, oh, I got cramp in my foot now. Oh, I'm going to not be so lazy and just get a chair next time. Sorry, I'm going to have to move again. goodness me. All things which will be ticking boxes for booktubers, I presume. And anyway, one day Adaria stumbles across a dragon's egg, and she is not sure what to do about this, and so she enlists the help of one of the oldest members of the royal family, one of the last descendants of the royal family, called Isla, who's also a dragon companion, and together they have to work out sort of what to do. And they also see a conspiracy which is trying to overthrow Albion at the same time. So this is something that I'm really looking forward to reading, and I'm just so excited about all these books. So going back to my last video I made about my TBR and decreasing my TBR, these books are all ones that definitely spark joy. I'm super excited to read them. I will probably, by the time this, well definitely I think by the time this goes live, by the time I've edited it and uploaded it, I'm sure I would have started one of these books. But if you have read any of them and you would like to tell me like which one I have to prioritise over the others, then I would love that. If you've got any fantasy books which you would really like to recommend me, then again I'm very open to recommendations. I have got some others which I haven't mentioned today just because I can't mention all of them, but these are ones I'm very excited to choose from, and I can't wait to see what I pick up later today. So anyway, I hope you're having a lovely spooky season. I hope you enjoy Halloween, and I hope you have a lovely week. I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.